Here's more wrestling news for June 9th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include: Look in the mirror. Former WWE champion sends message to Braun Strowman after his WWE release. WWE books indie wrestler as one of Bobby Lashley's models on Raw. Aleister Black explains his reaction to Zelina Vega's questionable WWE release. Backstage news on plans for Elias and Jaxson Ryker. WWE adds double title match to NXT TakeOver in your house. Why Vince McMahon fined WWE superstars $10,000. Why WWE didn't buy the NWA, and more. We're starting off with Braun Strowman, who was released by WWE last week in a move that shocked fans of the former Universal Champion. Since then, Strowman has been working hard in the gym and, in one of his latest videos on Instagram, received some words of encouragement from Kevin Nash. In a comment, the two-time WWE Hall of Famer told Strowman he's an independent contractor, able to make his own rules, and advised Strowman to, quote, look in the mirror to remind himself of his own worth. Signing in 2013, Strowman leaves WWE a former Universal, Intercontinental, and Raw Tag Champion, and a Money in the Bank winner, and winner of the Greatest Royal Rumble. Part of WWE's decision to cut him was that Strowman had an expensive $1.2 million guaranteed deal, and WWE's main roster now has younger, cheaper, bigger men like Omos and Commander Aziz. WWE reportedly felt Strowman was, quote, 2 years past his peak, and whilst he wasn't the biggest in WWE, he's still a colossal specimen that plenty of companies will be wanting to sign, and they'll get the chance to do just that when his non-compete clause expires in August. Over to Raw, as WWE Champion Bobby Lashley made his title defense at Hell in a Cell official this week, once again with gorgeous women following himself an MVP. We now know who Lashley's ladies were this week, as they were all fitness models and coaches, namely Kelsey Heather, Mia Lands of Mia Motivation, Yessie Mina, Alicia Jules, and Monique. The most interesting name there is Heather, who in addition to being a fitness model, is also a wrestler, working in Florida's indie scene since 2019, mostly for Coastal Championship Wrestling. A cheerleader for the NBA's Orlando Magic and a coach for the University of Tampa cheerleaders, Heather certainly brings an athletic edge to her in-ring career. And time will tell whether the former NHL and NFL cheerleader who attended WrestleMania 37 one day steps in a WWE ring as a superstar herself. More release news as Tommy End, aka Aleister Black, was cut from WWE last week, months after his wife was released in November 2020, mere minutes after she had shared support for unions. Vega also refused to abide by the company's rule against third-party deals as she started an OnlyFans after WWE's rules went into effect, and during his interview with Renee Paquette, End discussed his wife's abrupt departure, saying, "They let my wife go under reasons that are questionable. Everything got sorted out and is fine, but they called me and said, 'We understand this is putting you in a tough spot. Nope, this is my career. I spoke about it with her, and this is business between you and her. Does Tom, her husband, have an opinion on it? Sure. Does Aleister Black, the professional? Nope. He's ready to go to work and create. She agreed." End was able to remain very professional about the matter, and though recent reports have hinted that Vega is set to return to the company, likely as a manager, she won't be working alongside her husband if that happens. Two names fans can still see on WWE TV are Jaxson Ryker and Elias, as the two former tag team partners are now at odds on Raw. On this week's show, Ryker debuted a new look, and now we know where WWE is going for the two. PW Insider reports that WWE plans on establishing Ryker as a face, which was always the plan after Elias walked out on the Raw Tag Team title match against AJ Styles and Omos on last week's show. Though there'd be speculation on Ryker being the heel, especially as his controversial real-life views led to the end of the Forgotten Sons, and a photo resurfacing of him playing up racial stereotypes where he called himself a soul man in an overly dark fake tan. Despite reports of a swap between Elias and Ryker, that won't be the case, and fans can expect the former Gunner to be a good guy for the remainder of this feud. NXT news now, and with TakeOver in your house this Sunday, the Gold brand added some huge matches during last night's go-home show. When Legado del Fantasma cut a promo on Bronson Reed, the group was interrupted by the North American champion, who had NXT Tag Team Champions MSK join him to even the odds. With all 6 men in the ring, Escobar proposed that all the titles be put on the line in a 6-man tag this Sunday, with Reed's North American title and MSK's tag team titles up for grabs. This stipulation was agreed to, meaning the landscape of NXT could change dramatically after just one match this Sunday. As anyone who's been on a packed airplane can tell you, a rip-roaring fart can ruin your day, and that's especially true in the world of professional wrestling. This is a lesson the Nasty Boys know all too well, as the team of Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags were both nasty in name and nature, meaning they didn't hold back their farts no matter who was around. While speaking to Wrestling Inc. recently, Brutus the Barber Beefcake discussed one incredible foul incident from the Nasty Boys, which ended up costing the tag team dearly. The Nasty Boys were in London, and Sags or Knobbs let out a big fart in a dressing room or wherever they were at with Randy Savage and Elizabeth. And Randy put Elizabeth on an airplane and sent her home. Vince still wanted her back, so WWE chartered a Concorde to fly her back there. Since that cost like $5 or $10 grand, the Nasty Boys were forced to pay for it themselves. They called it the fart heard round the world. We're not sure why McMahon didn't charge Savage, since he was the one who sent Liz home and was known for being overly protective of his manager/wife. Obviously, McMahon blamed the Nasty Boys that Miss Elizabeth was being sent home, and it just goes to show you that you never really know the price of a fart until it's already out there. More from NXT as this Sunday's NXT TakeOver In Your House event will also see a new $1 Million champion be crowned. During last night's show, Ted DiBiase Sr. confirmed that Cameron Grimes and LA Knight will face off this Sunday in a ladder match for the $1 Million title. It'll be interesting to see who is able to win the title, as the winner will join the likes of DiBiase, his son, the ringmaster Steve Austin, and Virgil as the next $1 Million champion. NWA news now, as the company is once again finding its feet after having to shut down last year, and its owner Billy Corgan has no intentions on the NWA becoming a dead brand again. Though it was once the most important wrestling promotion around, several companies have overtaken the NWA, something Corgan knows all too well. Speaking on Talk is Jericho, Corgan revealed that before he bought the promotion, many thought there would be no point in buying the historic NWA. As he explained, "It was owned by one person. It was so devalued. He tried to sell it to everybody. Nobody wanted it as far as I know. He certainly offered it to WWE. They thought it was so worthless that they didn't even just buy it to take it off the market." You know things are bad when WWE isn't willing to buy you, as the company has absorbed promotions in the past like WCW, ECW, and more recently, Evolve. Fortunately, Corgan has helped turn the NWA around, with the women's title recently being defended at Double or Nothing, proving that there's still some worth to the historic promotion. And we're ending today with WWE's Big E, who has nothing to do since his feud with Aleister Black was cut short, but fans shouldn't worry about Big E being the next to be released. According to a source in WWE, the two-time former Intercontinental Champion is one of Vince McMahon's absolute favorite people in WWE, and the chairman will always find something for him to do. Since splitting from the New Day, fans have been waiting for a main event push for Big E, and though it hasn't happened yet, it seems the powerhouse's career isn't in jeopardy. Time will tell what Big E's next feud is, as his story with Aleister Black was cut short, but fans shouldn't worry about whether the former New Day star is the next to be cut from the company. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.